Come and get started on a new mission, a new direction, a new intention. Welcome to 5.8G Alive at Connections 50 Plus. I am Terri-Ann Joseph Brathwaite.
And I am Jennifer Gibbons Joseph, catering to all your prospects in the third act of life.
Economic well-being, social gratification, personal fulfillment.
Join us on Wednesday at 6 p.m. on Connections 50 Plus Facebook page, YouTube channel,
and on Gael the Caribbean.
Hi everyone, good evening and welcome to Connections 50 Plus 5.8G Alive. I am Jennifer Gibbons Joseph, one of the co-creators of Connections 50 Plus, and as usual on this Wednesday, with me is my colleague.
Hello everyone. I am Terri-Ann Joseph Brathwaite, the other co-creator. Welcome.
Yes. This is a happy time, Terri-Ann. This is the week leading up to Easter, and we celebrate, and when it comes, we are both Catholics, and for this time of the year, for this season, it is so special, that we have to refocus. We focus each day, the different aspect leading up to, our Lord, all that he had to go through. And we do that journey, we revisit that journey.
Yes.
And, it is very, what can I say for me? A very emotional, but happy time. I look forward to the different sessions that on a morning I would listen to the mass. If I don't go to church, I would, listen to the readings and the sermons that remind us so much of why we are here, and to give praise for life, all this leading up to us celebrating the resurrection. So for me, this is really a time to celebrate. And I know at Connections, we are so fortunate to celebrate our anniversary in this month of April during this time.
Yeah.
And when we talk Terri-Ann, we have to tell them why we having this big Easter celebration also. So how is it for you, Terri-Ann? How is this for you?
I don't use the word love where this is concerned. I love Christmas. And Christmas is celebratory stuff. But Holy Week, Easter is a kind of, I love Christmas, but Easter is more passionate, and passion not only coming from Christ's passion, but it's a deeper, more sober, thankful, joyful. And we spoke some time ago, people treat this thing like they stay on Friday on the bottom of the cross bawling and moaning and stuff. And I just love I'm a resurrection person, I just love it. And through Lent, through Holy Week, you travel, you do your spiritual exercises. You're just teasing. And I'm saying that my Archbishop and my parish priest are going to be too happy with me, because as my parish priest told me some time ago, you're online Catholic. I will show up for Easter, don't worry.
Yes.
No, but generally it is, and as I said, it is so fitting that our anniversary, I mean, when we look at all of the things that we've been doing, and then we are going to start our celebrations. The first event is going to be Easter Monday. It's almost like Lent is finished, and it's a fun day. It's everybody coming together. I mean, you talk more about it afterwards, but that whole, why are we here? Christianity is so important that your life has purpose, your life has meaning.
Yeah.
And this week is a culmination. It starts at this man entering triumphantly, and everybody is, yeah, you're the best thing since sliced bread. And what happens? Envy, jealousy, status quo, don't disrupt the status quo. You hang the mama up on a cross. But for whom? For us. And we talk about don't get lost in a tomb. When we were doing that, don't hide yourself in a tomb. We're coming out of COVID. We're released from COVID. There is so much new life and new light coming, culminating in this Easter.
I have my palm to wave. I forgot that palm not too far from me,
Yeah, I watched the Palm Sunday procession. I should have an old palm somewhere here, but anyway. We have so much, be it COVID, be it life, be it and everything is just coming together in this Easter celebration. I plan to take down my Christmas tree and my creche after Easter. But it's joyful, but it's not Christmas joy. It's something it resonates more deeply.
And when you hear Easter too, I think of families getting together to go, celebrate in some way, whether they're going by the beach, you're going on some sort of holiday, or just get together. So this is really a great time of the year.
About 2 months ago, I got this massive redfish, Jennifer.
Wow.
I haven't seen a redfish like that. I was shopping somewhere and I saw it and I said, that's my Easter fish. Jennifer, the thing, I have a vertical deep freeze and the thing fit across the whole. I cannot wait to prepare that for Easter Sunday.
So what are you going to do it for Good Friday or for?
No, Easter Sunday is my big. Easter Sunday is like Christmas. So everybody comes. I'm bringing my father up. I don't know how we be doing that. He come in and we're going to have but that fish is going to be the center. I don't know a tray to put that beast in.
Yeah.
But it's going to be done. No, but Jennifer, you know me, every single once I have the food cooking.
and reason to cook.
And something different, but it's big. I'll take a picture of it. But again, it just says how beautiful and wonderful life is, no matter what is going on in your life. The season of Easter, the celebration of Easter allows you to find that light, that pinpoint of light when the stone rolls from the tomb and that light starts coming in. I don't care what state you're in, look for your light. And that's why I love this. I love Christmas, but Easter is my baby. Definitely is. And it's even more special now because it's tied into all the things that we're doing. So happy Holy Week to all Christian. And Jennifer, the thing is, we have the Islamic community is in Ramadan. So they are fasting with Ramadan, and the Hindu community is celebrating Navaratri. Please, I apologize if I have messed up that word. But we are all in a period of fasting to lead the celebration. And I don't know, anybody could fight wars and do whatever they're doing. And I have joy.
Have an occasion to celebrate.
I have
joy. It keeps us going, it keeps us in faith, knowing that in spite of what is going on, we should find that period to celebrate life.
And that stone is being removed from that stone rolling away, light coming. Do not sit and wail on Friday evening at the foot of a cross. Yes, that you have to go through that, but Sunday is coming. Be happy. Yes.
Great.
So We wrapping up. Jennifer, what are we celebrating? April is a month of celebrating. We are.
April is
This
one
is
of
our
the
theme.
celebration right through. Starting with my birthday from the second right through, but more for connections. And with connections that we have 3 activities that we have been telling you all about. And the first is coming up, Easter Monday, fun and games. And it is ready, Terri-Ann. I mean, first, we must thank you all. We have been really getting that support, registration, and that feedback. People are all excited. I guess too, the pandemic is more or less, you could say, over. But restrictions.
No, it's not. No, it's not.
Yeah. Restrictions has eased up. We still, of course, has to use our masks and be very cautious because, I had 2 friends recently got the COVID. They're vaccinated and everything, and because of their getting booster, they're fine. They're not bedridden, which is great. It comes like just a mild cold. But yeah, the COVID.
The economy has been open. The pandemic is still here. It didn't go anywhere.
So we still have to be careful. We're celebrating, but we're very cautious. We're very, very cautious. While we're celebrating. So yes, Terri-Ann, so Monday. So we're looking forward for you all joining us on Monday, Easter Monday. We have all these games planned for you all. Terri-Ann, I love karaoke.
Yes, yes.
I'm not a card player, but I love the fun of it. And I know it's not just cards, but I love the bingo. I love bingo.
Yeah. And there's some local games. There's some local games. Don't say that. I wonder if you all got a copy of it. So and we were going through our menu, but that's I'll behave myself. I'll behave. Okay. Games.
So that should be really nice. So those of you all on Easter Monday, don't say you have nowhere to go.
Yeah.
You have nobody to hang with. They're offering you the opportunity to come out, hang with the tribe and have some fun. And it's early. We start out
3 to 6.
early.
3 to
6.
3
to 6.
Yes.
By 6 you're out,
Yes. You can hang on to that a little bit, but 3 to 6. Yes.
That's nice, relaxing, something for you to do and relax on Easter Monday and celebrate.
Yes. And we can't forget our next event, which will be our soiree at the Radisson, our dress-up event.
Again, Terri-Ann, as we talk about this celebration, and that Radisson, a friend called her, Jennifer, I wanted to come, but I have nothing to wear. All my clothes over the last 2 years, too tight, and the shoes are not, the dry rot. What am I going to do? But I am sure if you look in you must find, just keep taking out everything and try.
Because you have to look special for the Radisson.
Yeah.
I am putting on a fancy dress. I'm getting my hair done.
Yeah, every day I'm looking and I say, if this could fit me now, boy, it's too tight. This one. But
your lovely birthday dress, Jennifer. Love your lovely birthday dress.
I want something different. But yes, so don't make that an excuse that you have nothing to wear. This and coming on dinner at Radisson, Terri-Ann, for $300. Listen, you're not getting that again, huh? You are not getting that again.
With a paid alcoholic bar. With a paid alcoholic bar. I think people think the dinner includes alcohol and they think they're getting fish and chips.
Yeah. We price that specially for you all to come out and really, say yes. This will be your first dinner date, since the place has opened up.
Yes.
So that should be lovely, and of course, we're moving on because remember 3 activities. But for the April, we having that Easter Monday and the sorry on the 22nd.
Yes, the 23rd.
22. Yes, Saturday the 22.
Yes.
So
And
that
let's
should be good.
talk about this Paramin trip. So,
Well, guess what?
so people,
The Paramin trip
Paramin.
has been sold out.
Well, let's put it this way. We have a limited, we had to extend, and Paramin is now 2 trips,
Yes.
Thursday and Friday, because of demand. And because we want to make sure, as our tour guide, Carlos said, we're still in a pandemic, and we've arranged for the maxis are not going to be filled. So there is capacity. Now, we've had people reserving spots for all of the seats, the 2 days, but there are many people on the wait list who want to get in. So it's for people to hurry up and get paid and confirm your seat. But Paramin is a real winner. So those who have reserved the spot, you've got to pay. We'll be in touch with you soon to tell you what's the deadline, because there are others who want your seat. So
I think
but remember, people, Paramin is now 2 days. We put on a second one on the Friday.
And the Friday rally, most, I think, Terri-Ann, 95% of the people have paid already.
Yeah, but you have some and you have a wait list.
Yes, and to the wait list. Yeah.
You know? But Jennifer, and we planned this, and one of the things that, and we come into this theme of celebration, and we come into we're going into Easter. And I think of, and listeners are going to get a little controversial early. All right?
As usual.
We're going to get a little controversial. Because we have been thinking of, okay, how do we get people together and get them excited and trying to find avenues. And I want to do a poll. And we sometimes wonder, you have workshops, and yes, there's a group of people that would go, but you don't really know how many you'll have till probably 1 day before, 2 days before something. But for these events, everybody, put the name down. And I am saying, and people give us some feedback. The word celebration. We celebrate life. We say, we make sure we are our well-being physically, emotionally. We make sure we have financial well-being, and then we have tribe. I think our population put about 90% of the weight on tribe, because I've never seen a response like this. Yes. And these are not, we've priced them competitively compared to what's on the market, but you're talking about the package is $600, and the response to the package was great. People recognize, I'm saving $100. The Paramin tour is $250. Yes, it is normally $300 or $350, but people have been hitting that link and sending their checks and doing, and then this soiree at $300. So, it tells me that our 50 plus people, we are really hungry to have meaningful interaction, dialogue, and stuff like that. And I think there's a lot, Jennifer, for us to learn from this in terms of how we deliver the programs. But, and as I told you earlier, we used to be what stops the celebration? What stops you from getting out there? There's something about this outing and this celebration that people just decide, hey, I'm going. There was no hesitation, no delay. And there was a financial output.
I think, yes, I agree. Prior to the pandemic, and we are connections 3 years. So when we started, we focus, as you say, we focus on the different areas. And one
The pandemic brought us here to Zoom.
One of the events, we did have social events, but we've had a lot of forums, and we thought the forums are really self-development. And we recognize, and Terri-Ann, we actually did a survey prior to that. I remember doing a survey to get from people what do they want. And in terms of self-development, when we say self-development at this age, you already, you've passed through the workforce, you have your careers, etc. But we're looking beyond that. So we looked at areas that we felt would help persons live a better quality life, or learn what they can do on the third act stage, as we said. But I believe, Terri-Ann, because that was a whole new concept. It's a whole new concept. And traditionally, when people see themselves as retired, although we're not talking about retirement, we do transition. But in their minds, when they actually retire from a company, anything that's sounding like a workshop or forum, anything that
training.
Yeah, you say, the last thing I want is to listen to a facilitator tell me anything. So I felt they weren't aware of what we were offering or the way we were offering it, because they didn't know about it.
Yeah. Now people attended, people have been attended, but the response
was always great. The feedback was always great. But what we are saying, they didn't rush us to rush it. Now we didn't have a waiting list. We never had a waiting list for those forums. We would have people attending, the feedback great, but it's normally signing up maybe the week before, the same week of the forum. What we have learned from that is just a matter of, again, continuing with the survey now that we have gone through 2 years of things, a life that we have never gone through before. Maybe the thinking, not maybe, I'm sure the thinking will change. And yes, this is the time, Terri-Ann, you feel like, oh gosh, thank you, Lord, for getting, for bringing us through this. It's not over, but at least we can free up a bit. So here we are offering 3 great options for you to free up. And I think that's it, Terri-Ann. Without the brain thinking that, oh gosh, after listening to someone telling me how to live my life. Yeah. That's basically.
And Jennifer, I also think that, and this is really going to impact how we move forward. And all those who are listening, you'll get ideas, but you don't execute like we do. So I'm not afraid to share ideas. The fact is that we can't deny it. COVID, the experience of 2.5 years of COVID has rattled us to the core. We've lost loved ones. Everybody knows someone who has died from COVID. And it's not a 2 or 3 degrees of separation. It's one.
Yeah.
One. Everybody knows of a funeral that they either attended virtually or regretted not being able to go to. And the isolation that it imposed, I think, also caused people to realize that I need people and I don't have a lot of people around. You know, that fake busyness in life that we would have had.
Yeah.
You're busy doing this, you're doing that, but really substantive, what are you doing? And I think that people are wanting to have an experience of going out and meeting people and interacting and chatting in a meaningful context. And I think the way we organize the events it gave that meaningful context, the variety of it. You know, you had the fun day, then the fancy, the soiree, and then that trip to Parliament, which is historical, which is educational. It's out in the nature. You get a chance to interact with people. And I think it is a great, it's not an exhale for COVID. It is delight. I'm coming back to my tomb and that stone rolling over. It is the light that says, okay, you see this post-COVID period, it's going to be really, I'm going to be doing something that really builds my tribe, builds me, and gets me excited about going out and meeting people again. I just have this sense that it's a good side of COVID. It's such a thing.
You know, we will continue building, as I say, building that to that stage. But in building it, it is important for us to know how you feel and what you want, how you see yourself moving forward. And if you see yourself, actually, a friend who called me and all excited, and let me tell you, everybody now bringing a friend. I don't think we have anyone who have registered who not coming with a friend.
Yes, we have a few, Jan. We have a few. We have a few solos who come into, they're coming out no matter what.
And to meet and to make.
We have a few, yes. So it's not cliquishness. It's not cliquishness.
Yeah. No, but why I said that is because, again, before, when we say bring a friend, you say, no. But somewhere they want the friend to enjoy, to experience that joy coming out. And we really, you know, offering a safe platform too, a safe space. And that is important. And being around your peers, being around persons who, you know, similar with you in terms of the tribe and the age group, I think all that would make a big difference. So what I want to bring up this, and I'm not like Terri-Ann being controversial here, but do you know no one complain about money?
You're not being controversial.
We did not hear anything about, oh gosh, Jennifer, I have no money. We haven't been working, money, nothing. All you're hearing is, oh gosh, we're looking forward. That sounds good. We want to have fun. And so it says, Terri-Ann, that money isn't the issue. And I say that over and over and over. Money is not the
It's not the issue, it's the excuse.
Yeah, it seems so.
Avoid saying the truth that you don't want to do something.
Say that, and you talk about our package. Package is reasonable, $600, and you get all 3 events. No, actually, the fun now is real good. So tell me, it is not about the money. When you want to do something, when you see yourself enjoying that life, enjoying that activity, somewhere along the line, you find the money. The money is available to you. Let me put it that way. Make that money available to you. And this is nice. So that was a revelation. That's a revelation. You know, I always say, don't let money be the issue. But this is really, you know, has been a revelation for us to say that everyone who, I mean, imagine having a waiting list for that empowerment.
You know,
yeah.
as
So
I say,
it's not about the money, which is a positive thing.
I think that, as I said, my thing coming from it, money is not the issue. It is really people have known, I don't know if they've known, they have a good sense of what will make me happy. And everybody has their little reserve somewhere. And there is something in this that triggered them. And out of the reserve, all right, because there was a choice for happiness. And, you know, you really have to look and see, why is it so easy for us to say no? Why is it so easy When things are in front of you, you say no. And the excuses, I have no money, I can't pay, I don't have the money for it. And you know, sometimes we have to watch what we are saying no to, or why the reasons we are putting out in the universe for why we cannot do something. Because if it's, no, I have no money for that. You're bringing no money for anything to you, as opposed to coming out and saying, no, I don't want to do that because I don't like that. I'm not spending my money on that. It doesn't interest me. I think we're busy trying to be kind to people and nice to people. I don't think in this that stage you have time for that. Not being rude, but you put money in front as a limitation, and I think in that way we kind of blocking our prosperity and we're blocking opportunities. For this, you saw something that struck a chord, it made you happy, it related to what you wanted to do, so out came the reserves,
And that is why it's so important, and we said it when we were doing the vision board, for you to really write down or put on your vision board the things that will make you happy, that will push you. Yep. So apparently all of you all out there have that. All those who register, what will push you is going out, enjoying
doing something meaningful.
Yes.
Meaningful. Yes.
Thing. So you put it up there. So when you do these things, you take a lot of pictures and you put it up, and they say yes every time you watch it. It puts a smile on your face. Terri-Ann, having said that, and thank you again for your support. Really, thank you. And as Terri-Ann said, we do have Easter Mondays coming up. You can give us a call. You register for Easter Monday, and we have the story. Please, come out, because Terri-Ann, I was about to say, and I said it at our last show. Some of us sabotage our happiness. We look for the excuses. We feel like, oh gosh, we don't deserve that, because that money you're holding on so tight because you fear if you spend it on something you like, could imagine that in an emergency you won't have it. But if you plan your life and you organize your finances in such a way and you prioritize, so listen to me, your happiness, well, of course, your health and happiness. But if you do that, Terri-Ann, and I know this will make me happy, my budget and I find any money, and that's how they found the money.
I tell you, they didn't find it. They had it there hiding a pan. They didn't find it.
So you have that fund there.
It was in a pan.
Yeah. Just as how you have that contingency fund. So for you not to have that fear, I would suggest you separate it first. So you have your contingency fund for that emergency. So you won't feel bad. You're guilty, I would say, to dip into that other fund. So separate it. So when the opportunity comes to you to go out and enjoy yourself or do the things you like, when you dip into that fund there, you don't feel bad about it.
Jennifer, I don't think that is the issue. I don't think that is the issue. I think this is like getting in all your business now. So get back to me if you want. It's okay. Yeah. I'll be the bad guy now. I think it's one of two things. You have the people who feel guilty, yes, but there's some people who really believe that doing things for themselves is a selfish thing, and selfishness is bad.
Yeah.
Selfishness is bad. I can't do nice things for me, and most of the time, the reason I can't do nice things for me is because if I choose me, I will probably have to compromise or cut back on somebody or something else. And that somebody or something else usually has the name child, the name parent, the name spouse, or house. You know? And we just think that doing stuff that we like is not a good thing. And it's going to reflect badly on us. You know, that we're selfish. Or something like that.
At this stage in our lives, Terri-Ann, we have more time. We have time. Recently, very recently, recent as last week, we did a transition and retirement program. And in the program, remember you mentioning that those were at the time you're working, about 90% of your time is in the workplace, and 10% is where you have your personal life, whether with family, etc. And now we are all on this third act stage. Some of us, yes, maybe still working, but not in terms of that in the way we did before. Or even if we have our own businesses, we still have more support. So it is really not as bad as demanding, I wouldn't say bad, as demanding as when we're in the workplace. So Terri-Ann, what happens, and you know that, there are those of us who carry forward that same
habit
and thing.
Bad habit.
But instead of 90% of that time for the workplace, we take that 90% for others.
Yeah.
For the family, for everything else. And we still hold on to just that 10% for us. It's just habit. And you know, when you have to break the habit and switch, and that I agree with you, where you start to feel selfish. Because
it's the boss mentality, you know, it's like the boss, and somebody has you jumping and hopping. Somebody outside of yourself have you given instructions, jumping and hopping.
You get that when others demand of that time, you give it because that is what you know. And so what we have to do, and you know that saying, especially in the parliament overseas, they say reclaim your time when they're talking. And
reclaim my time.
Somebody take up your
Maxine Waters.
Yeah, no, yes. I always remember that. I love that, reclaim your time. And this is what we have to look at. We have to start at the third act stage, reclaim our time. For us, this is
Jennifer, is it selfish? Is it selfish?
Well,
is it a bad thing? Is it a sin?
No, you know my thinking. Somewhere along the line, Terri-Ann, that aspect of, well, I don't know if it's the Bible reading or what, that part didn't hit home to me at all. About being self. I don't know about that.
Didn't read that part?
I didn't read that part. It didn't register. So I am about self-care. I don't see myself selfish because I would support others. But I believe at this stage, putting me first is important, because if I can't be happy and enjoy life now, Terri-Ann, at this stage, then when would I do it?
Jennifer, let me use an Easter theme. In the Garden of Gethsemane, Christ said, Father, take this up from me, but no, not you, my will, but yours. God, I'm blaspheming now. I need to behave myself. But that was not the point.
But think about it, and we say it a lot. At this stage, okay, some 70. If at 70, I am not enjoying the things I want, if 90% of my time is not for me, when would I do it? Because let me tell you, if you don't know it now, if you don't have that habit of doing that now, Terri, and that's it, you know, you're reaching 80, 90, and then what? you're complaining, because if you think now you're not going anywhere because you're feeling guilty, then down the road you're stuck home more, because you haven't taught the children, the grands, or anybody that they don't know about you going out, so where they're taking you? Nowhere.
And I'm thinking, you're saving for emergencies as a habit from the second act stage, because at that stage, you have young children, they have to go to school, you have your mortgage or your rent or whatever the arrangements are, and you have to have an emergency fund for those external things, because you never know what can happen. The biggest emergency for, all right, you have health emergencies. Yes, you can have crises. Hopefully you have insurance or you have that. But the other big emergency is your funeral. How much does a funeral cost? Okay, so this is the emergency fund.
That's why I said, Terri-Ann, if you separate your funds, okay, because if that is what you're concerned about, that's great. You have that emergency fund, contingency fund, whether for burial, last expenses, whatever, put aside. Then, and that is not 90% of your funds. Okay. So, yeah. So we still let's still use the 90% and the 10%. Let's say 10%. The 90% of the funds thing, but let me tell you, because of fear, Terri-Ann, some people want the 90% put aside.
Yeah, but they
panic.
And my thing,
you could work it out.
What I want us to reflect on while we're working on that, if you are just in the habit of planning for an emergency, and remember what we're talking about today is celebrating life and being happy and celebrating and making sure we have the means to celebrate. So I agree, have an emergency fund. But if the emergency that this fund is covering is the same emergency you were worried about when you were 30, when you were 40, when you were 50, you need to adjust, because you might need less of a fund. And yes, for some people, you might have to cover the cost of your whole funeral, but hey, you might have children, grandchildren, go half and half. So you have part of the funeral fund that you can now take and spend. As I said, I'm being reckless today. Call me reckless, but I'm serious. I am serious. What is the emergency? And have you done an update cost of the emergency? And I do this in the context where we have an automatic response. I can't do that. I don't have the money for it. I can't do that. I don't have the money for it. But then you're sitting down with your girlfriends and your guys and your fellas and stuff, and you're talking about life so this, and you can't have fun, and you're restricted, and you're limited, and all that kind of stuff. And you have a pot that you can't do things with, but you don't realize that you haven't released your thinking. What's the emergency? What is the emergency? On the third act stage, what's the emergency?
Yes. And Terri-Ann, as again, I want to reference our workshop forum last week, that, when we chat with clients, with the participants that are about to leave, and you listen to them, and what are the dreams? Most, 90% of people will tell you at that stage, they want to go on a trip, and they want to help the children or the grands, etc. So going on a trip and helping all in one, that's all your money, And that trip, when you come back from that trip, and you say, okay, so you go on a trip for the first year, and okay, you take your money, your fund, and your handout. The second year, you start to just hold on now like your life, you can't enjoy life again. Because you're frightened because of all that money you spend that first year of retirement. For the rest of the years, all you're doing is holding on, You're frightened to spend, you're frightened to do anything else. And that is because of the lack of planning, Terri-Ann.
Yeah. I think another thing...
Dreams like it stopped there.
Another thing that comes up Jennifer, I think that is probably feeding into this, and it comes from fear. I think a lot of us are still suffering from the shock of the adjustment in income flow that we have to contend with now in our post-work era. That lump sum that looked big disappeared in tutus, and it disappeared into the hands of family and friends and people who were in need. Again, you don't think about yourself, and it just was not enough, and we forget that we are preparing for 30 years of life, and we only think about the first 3. We might think about the first 5, but we really plan everything around the first 3. And I suppose when everything, and the first 3 takes you to 63, all right? That is young. That is young.
I'm telling you.
Plenty time to go again. I suppose because of that, you really get into tight mode. But your tight mode is not about preserving the funds for you. You are still living for others. And I'm not saying I'm not encouraging selfishness. I'm encouraging a balanced life. We are afraid to face the reality of, do you know, and this is especially to the 50-year-olds, the younger ones, do you know what your company's retirement policy is? Have providers changed? Did you check with the National Insurance Board across the region to see if all your contributions, if your work history is correct? Why wait and then spend the first year of in shock till you can't do anything for yourself?
And Terri-Ann, when you reach middle, so we just spoke about the early 50s, even 60, 63. When you cross 65, because of the cost of living, and many pensions are not linked to the inflation, etc. It means as prices rise and things go up, it's less, you can do less with that money, right? But so again, it creates a little panic situation then, because you see less money in your hand. And if you have less money in your hand, then you can't celebrate life at all, because panic steps in. And I would say,
and then you start saying, no, I have no money. No, I have no money.
Yeah,
no, I have no money.
Yeah. So everything. So if we know what we like, there are ways that you can still enjoy it without that cost. Again, you're not focusing on the money. There's so many, when you send that positive vibe outside there, saying, this is what I like to do. For instance, I have to bring in this. You love going dinner and thing, but going out for dinner costing you about $700. An opportunity will come up where you could do the dinner for so much less, like how we are offering you dinner for $300.
Exactly.
Just use that example because it's a real example. So don't take away that joy. Don't allow the lack of money take away that joy, that opportunity to celebrate life.
That's a really important point.
Yeah.
Mm.
And sometimes, like, our friend told me, I'm inviting a friend. I wanted to come out. So she said, don't worry, I'll pay for her. You understand? And she paid for her friend.
You can gift
that friend,
gift someone.
And because she knew that friend will love to go. But if you didn't send out that message saying, I love to go out, I would love to do this thing, the opportunity won't come.
Yes.
And
Jennifer, as you say that, I want to make a special mention of some of our followers and supporters who are visa based abroad, but even some local ones who, for whatever reason, can't participate. And they've insisted, no, you've got to let me contribute. I want to contribute to you all, because they look at what we've been doing and they just get so much from it. And, you know, we've decided, okay, then we facilitate it. So we have a gift. All right, it's a party and gift registry where people can make donations. Some people are buying tickets to people locally, and some are just making open contributions. So I want to really take a pause and thank those followers who can't attend because they're physically not here for whatever, but because they so appreciate what we've been doing over the last 3 years and wanting to encourage us, have decided to make a gift. So we have a payment link that allows you to make an open contribution, and we just want to thank you so sincerely for showing your appreciation to us in that way. So,
and it adds so much value to our activities because you're getting a lot for your money.
Yeah, absolutely.
A lot.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, you know, the thing is, Jennifer, there is this period, there is so much to celebrate. There is so much to share in, to be joyful about. You're coming out of COVID, it's Easter, it's Ramadan, it's the Hindu festival, it's our anniversary, it was Jennifer's birthday. There is all of that. Why? I want us to check our language in, and that impulse to, no, I can't do that. No, I'm not going to do that. And really check, see what's behind it. What's behind it? And be honest and say to yourself, all right, no, I'm not doing it because I don't think I will look nice going out. I don't like how I'm looking. I find I don't have nice clothes. I find I put on weight. Oh gosh, I can't get my hair done. Or everybody, I don't know how to socialize. I don't know anybody to go with. You know, I think those are the things that the voices behind. I have no transport. I don't know how to get there. How am coming back home? All these are the real reasons. And you know, if you articulate it and you say, I want to go, but my challenge is, can you help me? You'd be amazed. You hook up with somebody who's close to you who would still do it. So we got to turn that language around.
You just speak any positive, which I do all the time. And you know that. I say, hey, I'm not wearing that same dress. I get in a dress. I know I am getting something. But when I say that and I started, no, seriously, I did that.
Ladies and gentlemen, I want, Jennifer, I want to give everybody to the positive thinking. Now, remember a couple of shows ago, we highlighted Jennifer's stress. Now, just in case people think we making up stories here. We don't make up stories. We share real-time things that are going on in our life. And Jennifer is facing a very stressful thing. She's had to have an interim living arrangement, and she's going to fix her home and do her apartment and stuff like that. But in spite of all that, Jennifer, you could have said, I'm not celebrating her birthday, I have no money. I'm not doing this, I'm not doing that. But what did you, and I want to ask you this as an example, you celebrated your birthday, you had a beautiful tea party. The car that was given trouble that needed a drive shaft, you made up your mind of fixing the car because that was causing you to be marooned. You lost your flexibility to drive and go where you got a beautiful new dress. That's so important. That's so important. And all of that would have happened, and the average person will look at you and say, but she was just talking a certain nonsense earlier. but what stupidness? How could you do all of that and still be, you're not crying and bawling? Oh my God. What did you do?
We have life and you're celebrating. I am about that, and I keep saying that. And I share. I have no problem in sharing my goals. You know, people are different. Some people say don't share because they would might be bad luck. But I am so positive, and I have that faith that when I share my goals with my friends, the loved ones, it's not just, well, now public, but they understand and they know what I want. So if someone feels that, and I would do it for my friends. So if they know this is what I want to do, they would help me achieve it. And again, we're not talking about money. It's not about money. It's about support, and support you in doing the things you love. And I mentioned it earlier about a friend who told me she's going to buy 2 tickets, you know, to help her friend who she know will love to go. And it's the same thing, you know. I want to have the party. To me, 70 is a great time to celebrate. I can't worry about no money and all that. I share that with my friends, and I got the support because, you know, that's what I wanted. And that goes to all the other things. And listen, Terri-Ann, not everything you want you would get. So if something don't happen within the time, I am not disappointed to say, no. I would say, well, it may happen down the road. You may have to redo or look at the goals and say, well, you know what? Maybe I would love a new car. I would love a new car. But when I look at my priorities, a new car is not on that list. So what's the next best thing? If I can fix the car, let me fix the car. But I am not losing sight of my goals. But I talk very positive. So I wouldn't say, oh gosh, Terri-Ann, I will never get a car, or how things going, I cannot celebrate, which is what some people do. They say, oh good, so and so, look what happening right now. How can I celebrate when X is suffering, or during this COVID time? How can I go out and have fun during this COVID when so many people suffering? All right, that's not going to help those who suffering. Actually, I always say, for me, I love persons around me to be happy and successful. If they're not, that's not doing anything for me. You understand? So it's really back to your mindset. And if you go out, why go out? And some people say, okay, you love going by the beach, but you reach by the beach when you're complaining, now too many people on the beach.
It's not too hot. It's not too hot.
The waves coming in. Just find a spot and relax yourself. But the whole day by that beach, they're complaining. Too many children running wild, playing cricket on the beach.
But I think, Jennifer, too, one of the things that people have to realize too, because I know that mindset is a challenge for some people, is that
it's a practice, it's a habit you have to create.
But there are some people who wouldn't get there. But I think that one of the important things too is that, and we found this in our work. It's a heavy word, it's a miserable word, it's the word budget. But let me say how I look at this. If you're aware of what you would normally spend money on, I'm not talking about budget, you're not writing down anything, you're not accountable for anything, okay? But you're aware of what you would normally spend money on. You know, when you have that list, if you say there are 15 things on my list and I spend money on these things, and in a period of time you decide, I really want to do something, and you have those 15 things in front of you, you know, sometimes you could say, hey, you know, these 5 other 15 off my list for 3 months, I'm going to replace it with this thing that I want to do that means a lot to me, whether it is celebrate your birthday, whether it is a car. So it is a little deferral. And very often we want to do things that require resources. but we never look at what are you using your current resources to do. By the way, that's budgeting, right? I'm not using the word budget. Okay?
Yeah.
If you are not aware of where your money goes, then you can't make an informed decision about if I can defer, suspend, reduce certain things to cause me to do this thing temporarily that will give me so much joy. And I think, Jennifer, it is that practice when you're able to, that lift that you get, that lasts so much longer, is the thing that eventually helps change that negative kind of sacrificial mindset, which at the end of the day come over like a mean old person. You know, you're not joyful, you're not celebrating. And it is possible, but you must be aware. As I said, that's what budgeting is. We're not using that dirty word. And most people who don't seem to be able to achieve anything, it is simply because when you ask them, where does your money go on a regular basis, they can't tell you. So if you don't know where it's going, then you can't adjust over a 2-3 month period to allow yourself a treat.
That's just it. And Terri-Ann, again, I go back because we only did that program last week. It's that when you ask that question, do you budget at all? And we are not saying, as Terri-Ann say, every month you write down things, but are you aware of where your money going? You know? And when you do that, if you're aware, for instance, Terri-Ann, when we look at, okay, I want to have the party and I spend that money. If I know I do this, the other side of it, there are things that I would have normally done within a month or within this quarter. And I look at it, it's no longer priority for me, you know why?
Exactly.
Because the money has been used up there. And I said, I will defer. So what I would have normally done with that money, I say, you know what, that went to party. I had a good time. I have no regrets. I enjoy myself.
And it was a conscious decision.
This is what I will do. And it could be very simple, Terri-Ann. I actually look at, say, okay, I am not, yes, the car is fixed, but I'm not going out every day. I have to manage the cost because it's gas.
You have to manage the gas.
So this is what I will do. I'm not doing that. Simple things. But when you add it up over a 3-month period by not spending on those items, guess what? You didn't need, because that money is spent already.
Yep.
So these are the different ways you can do it. But let me tell you, being excited about something, Terri-Ann, being excited about going Parliament, being excited about being excited about Easter Monday, guess what? You already say, well, yeah, I have that money, because you much prefer to do that. So something else have to leave back, but you don't mind.
But it's not a permanent leave back. You'll make it up in a short period of time.
Yeah,
so
but you could do without that. You don't have to do those things.
Yeah. But anyway, Jennifer, we've got a few minutes.
You buy your dress, you look good, and you leave out something else here.
Yeah.
So, but you have the dress still looking good.
Anyway, we have
the same, we talk about the woman. Many same thing for you. Just
yeah. We really, in our last few seconds here, want to emphasize, listen, we've got to celebrate. If you find yourself with a reason not to, I can't. Listen, you're calling stuff onto yourself that in 4 or 5 years' time you're not going to like. You can have a wonderful life celebrated. It's April. So many things going on here. Let's look at what we have and let's join the celebrations and join us in celebrating. Go on the links, look at the events. Let's get together and have a great time. So, Jen, we see everybody next week when we will talk about funding.
Yes. Yes.
So bye.
Fun. Bye.
See you.
50 Plus Tribe and followers from Trinidad and Tobago and the Caribbean.
Thank you for joining us on this Connections 50 Plus 5.8G Alive show.
We hope you enjoyed the lively conversation and look forward to seeing you next week.
Don't forget to like our Facebook page and subscribe to our YouTube channel.
We really love getting your feedback. Bye for now.